Last week I made my first reaction to Rick Mercer and his video talking to Americans. I enjoyed everything about that video. His brand of humour, his sense of humour is right up my street. A lot of people told me in the comments actually that Canadians and British people have a very similar sense of humour. We have that dry, sarcastic wit. And they told me that Rick has that, but he just has a lot more to him. So can't wait to find out more about him. Can't wait to watch more of his work. Tell me what your favourite work that he's ever produced is. What's your favourite video from him? I'll possibly make a reaction to that soon. Today we're going to watch this one. It's called Rick and Zen Car from the Rick Mercer Report. And the reason I want to watch this is because I never knew what Zen Car was, so I googled it. It looks like it was a Canadian electric car company that ran between 2006 and 2010. So really in the infancy of electric cars, or mass-produced electric cars anyway, and having seen the growth of that industry until now and what it can potentially go on to, I'm really interested to know about Zen Car as well. What happened to it? What was its situation? What was its success and failures? Tell me if you know about it. Tell me what your thoughts are on it. And yeah, I'm interested to see Rick's take on it as well. So let's watch this and find out more.
Welcome to St. Jerome, Quebec, home of the Zen Car. Now, Zen stands for Zero Emission, No Noise, an award-winning car manufactured right here and sold all over the world. Zen is also the kind of meditation you have to use when dealing with a bureaucracy that refuses to support this made-in-Canada car. Cute, eh? No noise but the horn.
So he's saying there, I mean, there's a few things to pick up on there. It's based in Quebec, so that's quite interesting in itself. It was an award-winning company, or award-winning car that was sold all over the world, so they obviously had initial success. But he said there about having Zen because of bureaucracy, so maybe was there some sort of bureaucracy that was holding back or hampering the progress of this company within Canada? That's interesting. Let's check it out and I guess we can find out.
This is the founder and CEO of Zen Cars, Ian Clifford. Hello, Ian. How are you?
Good, Rick.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Okay, I'm a pretty well-read guy. I like to think I have my finger on the pulse. I had no idea there was a Canadian car company.
There is, and you're standing in the manufacturing facility.
Oh wait, so does Canada not produce its own car or any cars within Canada? Because he seemed quite surprised that not only was there an electric car company, that there was just any car manufacturer. I hadn't actually considered that maybe there's no Canadian built car. Tell me if that's the case. I mean, we could have been looking at like the Canadian Elon Musk here. I don't know, let's find out. I'm intrigued with this story actually.
This is a well-kept secret.
Yeah, and hopefully that's going to change real soon.
Okay, the Zen Cars, zero emissions, no noise.
Yeah. Our initial vehicle is a urban core neighborhood type vehicle. So instead of firing up your V8 or V6, you know, you get in your Zen Car, you go shopping, you go drop the kids off at school, you go buy some beer.
And you plug it in.
You plug it in wherever you can plug in your cell phone.
It just plugs into the wall.
Right into the wall.
So this is a Canadian success story. It's designed here, it's built here. Where do you sell it?
In the United States?
Boom! Why?
Because they're not legal on the road here.
Why?
Well, that's a very, very good question. We just after 18 months got federal approval.
Okay, so now are they going to start rolling off? We're going to start seeing them on the streets?
Can only sell them in British Columbia.
Right.
So there's only one province.
Why?
Well, this is because now it's up to each province to regulate the use on road. And it's very safe. I mean, this is...
And I got to tell you, it's very weird seeing them drive around the plant here.
Yeah.
Because they don't make any noise.
Okay, so just, to go back to that point they were making there, so 18 months to actually get approval for this, man. I don't know, maybe at the time it was just, they were a bit more of an unknown quantity, like electric cars, so maybe people are thinking there's going to be problems. It's just, obviously when there's big changes in culture like this, it can have some kickback. But yeah, really interesting to see that it had initial success, but it seems to have been hampered, its growth seems to have been hampered by the government, no less. They could only sell it in British Columbia as well. It's interesting that the provinces have their own sets of rules with regards to something just like driving also.
Well, imagine downtown Toronto. Same effect. Think of all the noise pollution in our cities.
I'm loving it.
And in fact, with the radio off, you can hear birds singing when you're driving down your neighbor's street. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
So not only was this an electric car, this was actually, as the name suggests, no noise. So I guess that's something that's very unique, and I can't think of any other car that has that attribute as well. So this actually had something that set it apart from other competitors, which is interesting as well.
And I'm joined by the Vice President of Production here at Zen Car, Gilles Allard. Hello, Gilles. How are you?
Fine, you?
Nice to see you. You know, it's so hard to wrap your head around the fact that this car is not going to have a gas tank or a muffler.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just
electric
look.
components.
And this is
the rear battery box that we'll install.
that's the motor?
That's the motor.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Fine.
Nice to see you. Now, if this gets approved, what do you think you could sell this for in Quebec?
Close to 12,000.
Really?
Yes.
That's a bargain, isn't it?
Today, the price of the car, yeah.
And you use yours all the time?
Yep. Sometime when I go to the gas station and I
Yeah.
buy cigarettes, they say,
Yeah.
do you have any fuel? No. Look at my little car there. It's a totally 100%
So you still go to a gas station just to buy cigarettes?
milk and stuff. And
You're
all
supposed
the-
to buy those on a reserve. Don't you know anything? That's how it plugs in.
Yep.
That's
Save
it.
money.
I guess, of course, especially if you plug it into your neighbor's house.
Yep.
Just run it right across the backyard.
Don't get caught.
Okay,
Don't
I'm gonna
get
go for a
caught.
test drive. Thank you.
Yeah, even things like that, talking about how it's charged, I mean, it's things we take for granted in 2023 because of how prevalent electric cars are. Like, this time it must have been like so new. Yeah, like maybe this was a big missed opportunity for Canada, and like it could have been like the market leader at this point in this industry.
So obviously, if I drove one of these on my own personal life, this would have a lot to do with reducing my carbon imprint, right? How much?
It'd be huge. It's 6 tons a year if you
6
drive an electric.
tons a year.
You drive an electric car, you eliminate 6 tons of CO2 emissions a year.
There's your Kyoto targets right there.
It's right there.
Yoo-hoo. It's so quiet, it's weird, it's like I'm coasting. You know what I want to do? I want to make driving noises. Here we go. Remind me again, what did John Baird say first time he took this for a test spin? The environment minister, what'd he say?
John hasn't been in the car.
Hasn't been in one. And the minister of transport?
Ditto.
You know what you can do to get the conservatives interested in this car? Coal-fired stereo.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Does it have a stereo?
Yeah, absolutely. Want to hear some tunes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, man. I mean, we could talk about Rick first of all, just before we go on, but I really love his style. I mean, as I mentioned before, especially this is a kind of different scenario to that talking to Americans. That was more like trying to do these funny questions and so on. But this is like a bit more of a serious interview. It's talking about an interesting subject, but he's doing it in such a funny, humorous way. I really like it. But also the fact that he just mentioned there, like some ministers for the environment and so on hadn't actually even driven this car. It's such a neglection of responsibility from those politicians. They could have actually helped grow this, and it would have brought so much money to the Canadian economy. It could have been such a successful industry, but they just had no desire to do that. Quite a shame.
I decided to put it up on the curb because I'm in Quebec.
Is that what Quebecers do?
Look.
Keep it down.
Now listen to this. It's on. Now it's off. Hello, how are you?
That's mad, actually.
Very good. That's a noisy shopping cart you have. Have you seen this before? It's a Canadian car. It's built in Canada. It's manufactured in Canada, but it's illegal to buy here. And it fits under the Christmas tree. It's going.
Is it going?
Yeah, it's going.
No.
It's going now.
No.
There you go. Go for a spin.
That's cool.
So you like it?
I love it. I love it. It's bizarre.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's weird, but it's fun.
You'll get a kick out of this. Look at this.
It's like a coffee maker.
It's like a coffee maker. I think what people are going to want to know, Ian, the consumer's going to want to know before they buy this thing, can a family fit a week's worth of groceries in the trunk of this car?
Absolutely.
Let's put it to the test. Well, there you have it, Ian. Thank you so much for the tour and the test drive.
It's a pleasure.
And what's ZENN stand for again?
Zero emission, no noise.
And 20 cases of beer and a box of cereal.
Awesome. So, yeah, I mean, we first obviously talk about Rick, as I mentioned there, like just an absolutely great personality, as I mentioned there. Love his style. Really puts the interviewees at ease and has that humour as well. But again, he's taken like an interesting subject. I mean, you can say he was ahead of his time to actually shine some light on this, on an industry that's ended up becoming so huge. And yeah, I don't know, I just feel like it's a missed opportunity from maybe the Canadian government, not really, instead of actually putting blocks in place to try and slow down the approval and the acceptance of this company and this type of car. They should have been throwing money at it to try and grow the company and trying to make it big. Maybe they just never had that forward thinking and seen the potential of it. Now we see a lot of governments worldwide, as I mentioned, mandating the use of electric cars or mandating that people get rid of petrol and diesel cars. Yeah, tell me what you think about this story. What could have been for Zen Car? Could they have been like the Canadian Tesla? Yeah, tell me what you think about it. Thanks.